Hi, this is Danny Barfield again with Barfire Knives. I told you I'd come back and go through how I make my knife sheaths. I used a different knife this time. I made this up. I bought this blade off Amazon a while back and made this knife up. I had already made the other sheaths for the other knives, so I'm going to go over how I make a sheath with this knife. So basically, I bought this knife off Amazon, and then I bought this leather from Amazon, and you can get whatever thickness you want. Really doesn't matter; it's your preference. I go with a little bit thicker leather, but it's however you want to do it. But so how I start with making a sheath is you have to figure out how you want it to lay in the sheath. So I do that first. And then you want to make sure that you have enough, whether you're going to cut the back or the front first. And I'm going to do the back first just because that's how I like to do it. But again, once you figure it out, it's all your preference. So I'll do the back first, and all I do is, and then guys use certain tools and stuff like that, but I just use a pencil, and you want to go about 3/4 of an inch ish. With my finger, I use that as a guide, and then I make a mark for where the at the top of the guard, and then I just go something like that. You can see that. So I have my trace out for the blade, and then I measure it. And normally I go like 1.5 times the length of the antler for my loop, or whatever the technical term is. I'm not sure. Disclaimer, I do this all freehand, and I'm not sure some of these guys call this certain things, but so the antler's 6 inches. So I'm gonna go 3 more, about right there, and then I just check it. And I like that. So I do all my stuff a lot less by the books than a lot of guys do, and that's fine that they do it that way. I don't do it that way. So then all I do is I'll draw a line out to that spot from my first, and then I measure from inside where I marked my first sheath, or where I marked my sheath at, and then I bring that back out, here, and I make the same mark, and then I draw that. And then I have that one mark, and then I just draw it across. You can measure if you want to go out 11 inches, you can, but when you get to the back of it, you're going to cut it, clean it up. So that's how I mark it. And then I use a utility knife, and you cut it out, and it's so you can use straight edge where you want. You want to make sure that the blade is sharp. Fresh and sharp. Depending on the thickness of leather you cut, it's gonna be hard to cut through if you use thicker stuff. But and like I said, you can use a straight edge along here if you want. But and by all means do it, but just make sure that you're keeping your blade straight and upright. And you'll be good to go. And if you go thicker leather, no matter how sharp you go with your blade, well, unless you have a brand new, fresh blade, more than likely you're gonna have to keep cutting to get through it. It's just how it's gonna be, fortunately. But I didn't go fresh on this blade. And I don't like, some people cut this off, but I don't like to do that because I like to be able to maximize the use of my leather. So there's the bottom, and you can trim it up after you get done if you want. You can look at your blade, and it's a lot easier to I didn't go that way to get it done. And then if you see somewhere you want to trim it up, then all you do is, it's a lot easier to trim it up after you got this far. So that is my blade, or the sheath. And then after that, all I do is, now you can, I use a smaller piece of leather because I know that I can make straps and stuff like that, and then out of these other pieces. So now I know that I can get straps out of these or out of the rest of this. So I use this to make the bottom, or the top, I guess. So all I do is trace that wherever you marked your guard at on here. Then you put that the edge and the edge. Then you trace that and you cut it. And again, I use thick leather, so the thinner you use, the easier it's going to be. But it doesn't take that long, and then you really don't have to worry about if you don't match them up perfectly in this section of it. Once you get them laced up, which I'll go over in another video, then you can trim it up to match. And a lot of guys will, after they get this done, they put them together and glue them together, and that's when they punch them, and they'll trim them up then. But I don't do that. Just how I do mine. Nothing wrong with the way they do theirs. I just haven't done that the way I've taught myself, and so I still don't do it. But mine come out fine. I mean, I've sold them okay, and I've used them, and I like them, and other people like them, so there is the bottom, or top and bottom, but there's a sheath so far. Like I said, we will go over punching a sheath out in the next video. So hope you liked it. If you want to see more and how I go through the rest of it, give me a follow and like it, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.